Hello, Twitch TV. Welcome to Dear Esther. The Landmark Edition, I guess? I absolutely know nothing about this game. What occupation are? Sure thing, Amy. This game, I know nothing about this game. I think it won an award. I don't remember how I ended up with this game. It might have been free. I don't remember. Actually, I'm pretty sure they gave this game away for free at some point. Who knows? Look, are you like Mike Wazowski? I'm on TV. Okay, Claude told me get it because it was free. Oh, okay. That answers that. All right. Well, there's 4 areas. We'll start with the first one. Is that PogChamp or Komodo Hype?
Dear Esther, the morning after I was washed ashore, salt in my ears, sand in my mouth,
I made
always at my ankles, I felt as though everything had conspired to this one last shipwreck. I remembered nothing but water, stones in my belly and my shoes, threatening to drag me under to where only the most listless of creatures swim.
You can make the what am I looking for? You can make the subtitles is the word I was looking for. You can make the subtitles huge. And so I made the subtitles huge. If anybody has difficulty reading, I don't know what to tell you because I made the subtitles huge. And there's some weird noises going on in here. This is not a horror game. I should throw that out there. I know you guys are gonna believe me after yesterday. Man, there is no toilet paper in here. There's also no place to wash your hands. Oh, you gotta like leave the bathroom and go wash your hands over here. That's fine. What did you stream yesterday? No, I mean, god dang it, Chaos. Only I had the tomorrow meme still in the channel points. All right, here we go. We got quad hydrogen, hydrogen. Am I gonna have to solve chemistry puzzles because I don't have my quadratic formula? Wait, I don't have my charts. Oh wait, hold on. Claude said always take the high road. Oh, I don't know if I can. Oh, I can. You can't run. I can zoom in. Right click zooms in, left click zooms in. Control does nothing, space does nothing. Here, hold on. Let's see, you move really slow. Nice. There's like 4 buttons. Always take the high road. Zoom in. This is just a nice leisurely stroll through the mountain. Off the side of the mountain. Oh god, up the mountain.
Donnelly reported the legend of the Hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later.
Whoa.
The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
Why is there paint cans out here? For some reason, this reminded me of the guy that lives in a cave in Slithis and World of Warcraft. Can't go back here. I can go back there though. Is that an SOS? Beep 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 beep. Cool indie video game. I probably have it wishlisted. If it's the game I'm going to assume that you are probably talking about. I probably have that wishlisted. So I think Rename talked to me about it. Or we talked about it in Rename's Discord? I don't remember. Alright, I fell off the side of the cliff. This is what you use to catch crabs. Or crab traps. This game is giving me Siberia vibes.
There was once talk of a wind farm out here, away from the rage and the intolerance of the masses. The sea, they said, is too rough for the turbines to stand. They clearly never came here to experience the becalming for themselves. Personally, I would have supported it. Turbines would be a fitting contemporary refuge for a hermit. The revolution and the permanence.
Are we researching the Hermit? I don't think I'm supposed to go this way. I have a bad feeling about this. If my guy could just walk like a tiny bit faster. I don't feel not being able to see my character's body is ruining a lot of my what is the word? Immersion. Am I a ghost? Maybe I'm a ghost. That's why I can't see myself.
Donnelly's book had not been taken out from the library since 1974.
Oh my god.
I decided it would never be missed as I slipped it under my coat and avoided the librarian's gaze on the way out. If the subject matter is obscure, the writer's literary style is even more so. It is not the text of a stable or trustworthy reporter. Perhaps it is fitting that my only companion in these last days should be a stolen book written by a dying man.
Alright, quick question. At chat. Does 1974 sound like a long time ago or not so long time ago? Because that was 50 years ago.
Was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice. They cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath.
Oh, that's cool.
You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid, or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this: to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
'80s is also last century.
I quote directly: a motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company. That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst them. Despite their tedious inclination to quote scripture, they seem to me the most godforsaken of all the inhabitants of the Outer Isles. Indeed, in this case, the very gravity of that term, forsaken by God, seems to find its very apex. It appears to me that Donnelly, too, found those who wander this shoreline to be adrift from any chance of redemption. Did he include himself in that, I wonder?
Where am I? Oh. Oh, yeah, the cave. From the other cave. Coming up to SOS Cave.
Dear Esther.
Dear Esther. They said the name of the game.
I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton.
Masca?
We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason, or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet.
I think I didn't notice.
Had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life. I find myself increasingly unable to find that point where the Hermit ends and Paul and I begin. We are woven into a sodden blanket, stuffed into the bottom of a boat to stop the leak and hold back the ocean. My neck aches from staring up at the aerial. It mirrors the dull throb in my gut where I am sure I've begun to form another stone. In my dreams, it forms into a perfect representation of Lot's wife, head over her shoulder, staring along the motorway at the approaching traffic in a vacuum of fatalistic calm.
That me? What is... Okay, somebody who's good at chemistry. What is this? Carbon... Dihydrogen. I'll 5 years. See. Alright, well, somebody that knows chemistry can work on that. Yo, it's Breath of Fire 2! OMG! Wait. Go back to the equation. It's not an equation. Breath of Fire 2, what was the discussion we had the other day? What's a non-spooky game that spooked the heck out of you as a kid? Wait a heckin' minute. Did I just go in a big circle? I did. Here's the equation. Alcohol. I see. Wait. Breath of Fire 2. Yeah, it's just a big heckin' circle. Something's gotta happen. Came from up, right? This new territory? It's definitely new. Ever go on like hikes, walks? I know Chaos used to really be into camping. I go running every now and then, but it's like not a forest. But I used to go running through a park where I used to live 10 years ago. There was this park that was
I've become convinced I'm not alone here. Even though I'm equally sure it is simply a delusion brought upon by circumstance. I do not, for instance, remember where I found the candles, or why I took it upon myself to light such a strange pathway. Perhaps it is only for those who are bound to follow.
Anyways, there's a park that used to be near my house that was like pseudo in the forest. And I got really bad allergies with like trees and stuff. So always, it was nice to run through, but I also hated it. Chemistry. Also chemistry. There's no button to pick up stuff. So I mentioned this like a few minutes ago. This game gives me strong Siberia vibes, where it's like, it won a whole lot of awards, but the game itself is just like, it's meant for old people, like really old people that just want to like walk around and look at graphics. They want to feel like they're in
Dear Esther,
caves.
I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times.
Dear Esther,
them within a millimeter using my survey maps. I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks.
Do you think this is intended gameplay?
It's somewhere between the turnoff for Sanford and the welcome break services. But although I can always see it
Beautiful.
in my rearview mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
What does this represent? The escape from reality to the darkness. Oh, there's more stuff. Oh, are we gonna land back? Wait, hold up. I saw rocks for a second there and heard the wind. There's some deep symbolism. Dear Esther. Do we have to start over? Esther, I have a small problem. Oh, dang. Resume? Did we die? I don't know.
Dear Esther.
Dear Esther.
I've now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times.
Okay, the ground is here this time.
And all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimeter using my ordnance survey maps. I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turnoff for Sanford and the welcome break services. But although I can always see it in
team,
my
left or
rearview
right?
mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
So much symbolism. I wonder what it was truly meant to mean. Team left, alright. I keep holding shift, thinking I might run. Yeah, Siberia. So Siberia is a point-and-click adventure game. This girl is a life insurance or something. I don't remember. Some sort of lawyer or something. And she's trying. This like guy that owned this big factory died, and she's trying to find the heir. And you're just like going through all these really cool-looking environments. Like everything looks really nice, but it's like nothing is happening the whole time. A whole lot of nothing. Just walking, chilling out. So, I've never been a big fan of the Siberia games, but I understand why people are like...
I sat when I was at the very edge of despair, when I
really
thought I would
into
never
them.
unlock the secret of the island. I sat at the edge and I watched the idiot boy blink through the night. He's mute and he is retarded, and he has no thought in his metal head but to blink each wave and each minute aside until the morning comes and renders him blind as well as
Team
deaf
left.
and mute.
Didn't make it.
In many ways, we have much in common.
Oh, or did it? Did Tifa write this? Yes. Wearing her depressed state and on the way to a smile. We all need more self-esteem. Is this that section of Nier with the mermaid? Little mermaid? That was not a horror game either. But you know somebody out there couldn't finish Nier because they couldn't get past the Little Mermaid section. That would have been me like 20 years ago. No, because then they just stopped when they got to the fishing part.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
New hermits. What, are we a hermit? Is that a hint? Is this where it wants me to go? No, I can't jump. You know, honestly, Claude, I thought the same thing. That was actually... You're not alone in that thought. I didn't want to bring it up, because if that was real, then I didn't want to ruin it for anyone. But if somebody else is thinking it, I'm fine with it. Look, Amy, you're gonna have to take it up with whoever wrote trivia. That was probably one of, because I didn't put any Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior related questions in there. So that was left over from hashtag RPG, which means you're gonna have to take it up with Tonic. Especially since it says Dragon Warrior 2 and then NES in parentheses, because I didn't put the title of any, or like what system any game was in.
Kidney stones, and you visited me in the hospital.
While I was a hermit crab.
After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Are we dead? Were we revived as a hermit crab? I don't. The story in this is so disjointed. I have no idea what's going on right now. Are these all just like random letters? My journal?
What charnel house lies at the foot of this abyss?
Let's find out.
Shepherds could fill this hole.
The only one way to find out. Oh, we got an achievement. Yeah, it does look really nice. Dude, Gallop Racer 2001. I see now why I added this question. For 2 reasons.
I've begun my ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors.
Hello, Delita.
My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning.
Delita, have you ever been on a hike out in the forest somewhere?
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakeobson, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Wait, so this island, hermits came to live here. Whenever a hermit died, they carved a line into the side of the mountain.
When the oil lamps ran out, I didn't pick up a torch, but used the moonlight to read by. When I've pulled the last shreds of sense from it, I will throw Donnelly's book from the cliffs and perhaps myself with it. Maybe it will wash back up through the caves and erupt from the spring when the rain comes, making its return to the hermit's cave. Perhaps it will be back on the table when I wake. I think I may have thrown it into the sea several times before.
Alright, it's coming together. So, this guy that's talking, narrator kin, they came to this island to live as a hermit. I wonder if there's places like this out there. I mean, I assume there probably is. If I wanted to be a hermit and just like go live on Hermit Island. What, like, how do they eat? Do they, I guess they make crab traps? Their own...
In a footnote, the editor
hermit
comments
communities.
that at this point, Donnelly was going insane as syphilis tore through his system like a drunk
Yeah, they
driver.
fish.
He's not to be trusted. Many of his claims are unsubstantiated, and although he does paint a colourful picture, much of what he says may have been derived directly from his fever. But I've been here, and I know, as Donnelly did, that this place is always half imagined. Even the rocks and caves will shimmer and blur with the right eyes.
If I ever disappear from the internet one day, it's because I found Hermit Island.
They found Jakeobson in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. He'd struggled halfway down the cliff path, perhaps looking for some lost goat, or perhaps in a delirium, and expired, curled into a claw right under the winter moon. Even the animals shunned his corpse. The mainlanders thought to bring it home unlucky. Donnelly claims they dragged it to the caves to thaw out and rot, but he is proving an unreliable witness.
Where's going
Climbing
on?
down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg.
Oh, he's dead.
The femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest.
It's a common Siren
It's become
Song.
clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose.
I think the narrator is somebody else.
They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
I think we're Esther. This is the letters to Esther. I mentioned this yesterday during Vicade. My lifelong dream is to go out into the ocean and to die from Siren Song. Yo, that looks like a turtle. It has been my lifelong dream. No, it's gonna be a siren. I'm ready for it. I'm telling you, I've been waiting years to die of Siren Song. Come on, Siren. Please, I need this. Where are you? Ah.
Donnelly's addiction is my one true constant. Even though I wake in false dawns and find the landscape changing, flowing in constantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always upon me.
I'm stuck. Well, we fell into a cavern. Seem to be fine though, because I'm a ghost. Oh, lost our flashlight. I was about to actually just say that. The cavern at least looks really cool. Where's all this light coming from though? These weird mushrooms? What? I didn't do anything, but suddenly I'm moving slightly faster.
I first saw him sat by the side of the road. I was waiting for you to be cut out of the wreckage. The car looked like it had been dropped from a great height. The guts of the engine spilled over the tarmac.
Wow.
Water underground.
Are we experiencing a car crash in real time via caves? This is the part of the crash where you're trapped inside of the car. And there's mushrooms strewn about. Oh, suddenly I'm ducking again. Maybe Delita. Is this like Final Fantasy VIII? Oh man. This reminds me of Final Fantasy IX, the Ice Cavern. Cavern represents the shelf of the Hermit crab. Whee! Ooh. Man, would y'all live in a cave? I totally would live in a cave if this was the lighting. My problem with caves is that you can't really enjoy the scenery because they're really dark. But if they were like lit up like this, I'd totally live in a cave. Yeah, that's kind of my problem. The caves. I'm not like a huge spelunker. And in fact, the only caves I've ever really been in real life were like forest caves. Cats can have rabies. So can everything else. Chaos, where I used to live, we had to live in fear of raccoons and armadillos having rabies. Also hard to tell. Oh god.
Listen. Everyone thinks we should leave through the butt. Let's search for the butt, Sharia. It's the only way.
Caves in Kentucky. Yo, thank you, Blackie, for 38 months of butts. I'm trying to think of the name of that cave, Amy. Because my dad actually broke a part of that cave towards the entrance. Nice 3-year emote. Armadillo's known for carrying rabies? Yes. Mammoth Cave, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, my dad broke part of, he tried to rappel off the entrance to the cave and broke off a huge chunk of it. This was like back in the 80s, I think it was. And they let him do that. They don't let people do that anymore. You can thank my dad.
I'm traversing my own death throes. The infection
Ooh,
of my
what?
leg
All
is
right,
an
team.
oil rig that dredges black muck up from deep inside my bones.
Left, right, or straight?
I swallow fistfuls
Left,
of
middle,
diazepam
right.
and paracetamol to stay conscious. The pain flows through me like an underground sea.
Lots of team left. By lots, I mean at least 2. I hope in 20 seconds here when I go check Discord that I have this constant stream of LOLs and clips from Blucky. Tatulay's bad today? Okay. Been streaming too much? Whee! Oh no. I should have taken the high ground. What was the question? Oh, the name of the Moogle. Are we trapped in the water? Whoever picks team left, this is all your fault. It's CION. Alright, team left didn't work out, so we're taking the high ground. You literally just talked about a cave that you've been to, Amy. Not even like a whole minute ago. For me or for you? I also answered in my head, Miria, and was very disappointed when that was not it. Wrong breath fire. Speaking of bats having rabies, I always thought bats were really cute. And I wanted a pet bat for like forever. Back when I lived in Nashville, we would go to the zoo there, and they had like bats as a thing.
This is a drowned man's face reflected in
Or
the
bats
moonlit
trapped in a
waters.
box.
It can only be a dead shepherd who has come to drunk drive you home.
Dead shepherd who has come to drunk drive you home. Alright team, do we jump in the water? Yes. Sploosh. Underwater materia. I think this game is... Hey, what is this one? HOOH, NH2, nitrogen, nitrogen, hydrogen. I don't know. I haven't done chemistry in 30 years. I don't have my oxidation charts. Behold Damascus. Damascus is taken. I think this game is supposed to represent what it's like to die. A Siren Song, hopefully. The weird sound effects they're doing with some of this remind me of Nier. Automata. Away from being a city. Ba 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 ba. I can't read that. And it shall be Wamba Fett. Wamba Fett. Ruinous Nest. That sounds familiar.
Sharia, listen. Everyone thinks we should leave through the butt. Let's search for the butt, Sharia. It's the only way.
That's funny. That's. I mean, thank you, Seawalker, for 25 months of butts using Twitch Prime. It's ironic that you said, "Dear Esther, please take my monies," because it's Twitch Prime. Oh God. We died and now we're being resurrected. This is what it's like to be born again. Wait, I want to be like right in the middle. What? I don't know, probably nothing. I would assume nothing at all. Well, let's take like a minute or so to drown. How long can everybody in chat hold their breath? 2 minutes, 17 seconds? Not me. I cannot hold my breath for more than like 10, 15 seconds. I didn't have very powerful lungs. My lung muscles are struggling even as we speak. 3 minutes, holy cow. Hold your breath for like 1 or 2 seconds. Yeah, that's me. Minute 30. I don't know that I've ever been very good at holding my breath. Alright, Chaos is doing it. I would always, and like trucks, we would always try to hold our breath through the tunnels. I might have secretly taken a few extra breaths during the tunnels. Don't tell Jamie, though. I may have cheated during holding the breath in the tunnels. I have, asthma and all that stuff. My lungs just don't work too well. Jimmy. Has it been a minute? Here, well, as soon as Chaos is done, whenever Chaos comes back to us, if Chaos ever comes back to us, I assume nothing. I'm gonna assume you can't drown in this game. Oh man, what was I playing recently that had Chaos in it? Oh, it's Final Fantasy 11, that's right. Confirmed we're a ghost. Ghost Hermit Crab. And the camera's gonna zoom out at some point, and we're gonna be a ghost hermit crab. Ghost crab, if you will, from Blizzard. And I'd be like, oh, that's what happened to that guy. I think we're a deer. What do you have to back this claim, Amy? Is Chaos ever gonna come back to us? 150, dang. Off the cuff, yeah. I would seriously like pass out after like probably 30 seconds or so. All right, do you think we can make the jump? There's no jump button. Yeah, we just keep going deeper and deeper into car wreck. Yo, is this Soma? I love Soma. This is Garland. Dang, this is not at all like when we went into this game. I didn't know what this game was about, but this is definitely not what I expected. Can you die if you're dead? Yes, I've killed enough ghosts in my life to know that yes. Reminder that this is not a horror game. Our character's just having a spasm. More Siren Song? The dream? Is that the moon? Oh no. The undead. Oh, we did fall through. We did die that one time. Esther. Ow. We did fall into infinity that one time. Does that count as dying? Who's Esther? I think we're Esther. I have that same pair of pants. Alright, there's a candle to the right, so let's go to the left. This is all just a big reference to Final Fantasy VIII.
The moon over the Sanford Junction, headlights in
That's what I've learned.
Donnelly drove a grey hatchback without a bottom. All the creatures of the tarmac rose to sing to him. All manner of symbols crudely scrawled across the cliff face of my unrest. My life reduced to an electrical diagram. All my gulls have taken flight. They will no longer roost on these outcrops. The lure of the moon over the Sanford Junction is too strong.
As soon as I turn the blue light, so I have a blue light filter on my monitor, but it has to turn off for 15 minutes every day for some reason, because Windows is dumb. And it turned off right as I turned towards the moon. So now I got all this blue light in my face and it's hurting my brain. Ah.
Come back.
Heck. I see. Yeah, yes, Redison. Yes. I guess you can drown. How come it didn't bring me back when I fell through the floor? Who has this as their desktop wallpaper? Who's got this? Who has ever had this as their desktop wallpaper on their computer? Now's your chance to have it. Along with my face.
I returned home with a pocket full of stolen ash. Half of it fell out of my coat and vanished into the car's upholstery. But the rest I carefully stowed away in a box I kept in a drawer by the side of my bed. It was never intended as a meaningful act, but over the years it became a kind of talisman. I'd sit still, quite still for hours, just holding the diminishing powder in my palm and noting its smoothness. In time, we will all be worn down into granules, washed into the sea and dispersed.
Dude, congratulations. Alright, real question at chat. Do y'all prefer this scene but with the moon or this scene with the sun? Are y'all a sunset, sunrise people or moonset, moonrise kind of people? Person? Individual? Individual probably sounds better. My school? I'm definitely a moon person myself. We got one for sunset. I definitely prefer the nighttime, the night atmosphere. Absolutely rejects sunrise, but sunset. So there's... Oh my god, Amy, what is this one? Hold on. Amy, what's this chemical? I don't know if this is a real chemical. Some of these symbols are either backwards E's, or maybe this is upside down. Are we upside down? If I turn my monitor right side up, will this make more sense? Dang, sorry to hear that. Speaking of constellations. You think they put real constellations up here? What is that, actually? What do y'all think that is? I see Amy looked up the guide or something. The Wikipedia. 2 stars. And you had you could actually see through the clouds of smoke to see the stars. That's amazing. 2 tires. Dude, muffler sounds. Oh. Did I ever... Hold on. I would look this up, but it'd probably take me like 5 minutes to find it. Did I ever tell you guys about the time we were staying in an Airbnb in LA?
There were chemical stains on the tarmac.
There were chemical stains on the tarmac?
Brake fluid and petrol. He kept sniffing at his fingers as he sat by the roadside, waiting as if he couldn't quite understand or recognize their smell. He said he'd been traveling back from a sales conference in Exeter. He'd stopped for farewell drinks earlier, but had kept a careful eye on his intake. You could hear the sirens above the idling traffic.
Yeah. We're standing there, and I looked outside, and I noticed that somebody's doing some air art or whatever. They were like drawing clouds in the sky or whatever. And we're all sitting there. There's like a bunch of us staying in this Airbnb. Like, ooh, what's he writing? We're like, P, E. This is over the course of 30 minutes it took them to write this all out. We're like P E. Oh no. And, like, it just, I have photos of it somewhere on my phone where they just wrote penis like across the sky. I was like, why did they do this? I wonder what this says. I've seen some wild things in LA. My favorite was still the officers on horseback yelling at the homeless guy who was pooping in a paper sack in the middle of the road, holding up traffic. That was one of my friend's first, like, we got out of our cars. Her first trip to Los Angeles. Got out of the car. We hear this yelling. We go to the other side of the parking lot, and that's what we see in the middle of the road. I turned and looked at her and said, "Welcome to Los Angeles."
From here, I can see my armada.
Is that a car?
I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into
Eunice
boats.
time.
I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Nice. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Interesting. Same here, Claude. Same here. We're supposed to take the high ground, but gotta check this first. What's over here? On a sudden, wait, on a sudden, a light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. Eggs. Going in. We're going in. Oh god. We're going we're going out. This character can also only hold their breath for like 10 seconds. Alright, we're going up. We're hermit crabs. Can't swim, we just wander around the bottom of the ocean. Then the narrator gets mad at us and tells us to come back. What do you guys think about, like, thigh-high walls? What are they trying to keep out? You're more likely to fall over one when they're that low to the ground. They have somewhat of a negative effect.
When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus,
they
resuscitated him by hitting him in the chest with stones gathered by the roadside. He was lifeless for 21 minutes, certainly long enough for the oxygen levels in his brain to have decreased and caused hallucinations and delusions of transcendence. I'm running out of painkillers, and the moon has become almost unbearably bright.
I think I would prefer no wall to thigh-high wall. Thigh-high wall would make me more afraid of falling. Held your breath for 21 minutes. I wish I could make the joke I want to make right now. Where's Blucky? Blucky, can you laugh at my joke? Because you know what it's about. But I don't want to say what it is. Oh, the 21 minutes. Did I just go in a big circle? Eyebrush Threepwood can hold his breath for 10 minutes. I'm DMing Blucky right now. Oh, he got it. Okay, please laugh at my joke.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life.
Eyebrush has you beat so far.
Side of the paper to me.
Never give up.
I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
DM'd Blocky with my joke. He definitely laughed. He's laughing right now. Average person hold the breath for 30 to 90 seconds. That's a huge, like, gap in time. I feel like that seems like a really massive gap in time. Like, I realize it's like smaller numbers, but to me that's almost like the difference between like doing something for 10 minutes and doing something for an hour. Oh, I missed all the stuff. And has come near. Wait. God, he walks so slow. We can't go backwards. It's too late. "24 minutes? You got this. No chaos." And he was
If only Donnelly had
3
experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline,
days.
as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Wait, so did we get in a car wreck and we died of a kidney infection? We died of kidney stones? Not us, but the narrator. Did the narrator get into a car wreck and not die from the car wreck? He died from kidney stones. Has anyone figured out the story yet? We normally go team left, but I'm
Stones will weigh me down and ensure my descent is true and straight. I will break through the fog of these godforsaken pills and achieve clarity. All my functions are clogged, all my veins are choked. If my leg doesn't rot off before I reach the summit, it will be a miracle. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands. It is 21 miles between the Sandford Junction and the turn-off for home. All these things will not be a coincidence.
What? Are these multiple letters to Esther? Is this more than one person? Have we died multiple times? Alright, what is this one? So our guy was a drunk driver. Maybe this guy was the drunk driver. And now he's got kidney stone problems from all the drinking he did. Who is Paul? Alright, we drank and got in a wreck. Had some kidney stones and almost died. Then we went and lived on Hermit Island. Whoa! Whoa! I almost fell. Can I fall? Hey Nierm, do you want to host VGM trivia in like 5 hours again? Heckin' internet died out? Alright, Claude. We learned a few things. One, I can fall off this cliff, I think. 2, I think this is my hypothesis. The narrator, well, yeah, we also learned the world record for holding your breath. The narrator, I think, caused the car crash from his drinking. He was an alcoholic. He got kidney stones at some point and almost died. And then I think he moved here to Hermit Island. That's my theory. He went back by this house down here. Well, there's a bunch of writing on the wall. Down by this house, he went on this speech about 21 minutes. Something from right here to right there. He went on this like speech about 21 minutes. I made some jokes that I had to DM to Blecky. And then that's what I think happened. That's what I've pieced together.
I've dredged these waters for the bones of the hermit, for the traces of Donnelly, for any sign of Jakeobson's flock, for the empty bottle that would incriminate him. I have scoured this stretch.
There's a bunch of 21-minute stuff.
Times, attempting to
oh yeah, that too. 21.
The point when his heart stopped dead and all he saw was the moon over the Sanford Junction. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all, and it was not his fault. It was the converging lines that doomed him. This is not a recorded natural condition. The gulls do not fly so low over the motorway and cause him to swerve. The paint scored away from his car in lines like an infection, making directly for the heart.
Hey, did somebody else die in a car crash? Was it a different guy that died in the car crash? Turns out that nobody was drunk. The story is about as disjointed as the winds in this storm. I hope a kite takes me away. May. Aim into. Damascus. Okay. Is this where I die of Siren Song? I've waited my whole life for this.
I've run out of places to climb. I will abandon this body and take to the air.
Oh no. You and the swing kid. Oh, I don't have control anymore.
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakeobson?
Who was Jakeobson?
Him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him.
Oh no, where are we going?
There will be another to these shores.
That's how Slender the Arrival ended originally.
I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We've always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakeobson flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland.
Oh no.
Will be sent.
Oh no. Oh no. I have a fear of heights. Why? Dang, look at all these white lines. Actually, Naruto running down the side of the mountain. High ground was indeed a mistake. Oh, we were a seagull the whole time. That's why we couldn't get through the water. Is this the Berserk soundtrack? Come back. Hermit crab seagull. Farewell, Marin. Link's Awakening. 2001. The symbolism in this game is like way over my head. Except for that part where we fell through the ground. That made too much sense. The question was Radiant Historia. What is the name of the homeland of the Gutturals? Doing great. Just played through Dear Esther. I'm pretty sure this is the end. Unless this is just chapter 1.
Come back.
Chaos. I'm going with yes. Back. Paul. Oh, we're Paul. So Chaos was right there. I'm pretty sure. I believe we were Paul. 20 headshots achievement. What? Anyway, so this game was free. Thank you, Claude, for the gift of free game. Can I summarize the game story? I have. To be completely honest, I have no idea. Shoutouts to free games on Steam. We also played Tell Me Why was the other free game we got. Between the two games, I think we got the better deal with Tell Me Why. Is this the non-DMCA? Enjoyed the game because I played on very high graphics. I almost turned them down. I'm glad I didn't. I was like, well, it's a walking sim. It probably doesn't require too much to run. It definitely was very pretty. The caves especially. I liked the caves. Like I said, this reminds me a lot of in kind of a roundabout way, I guess. It reminds me a lot of the game Siberia. Which, like I said, it's mostly that the people really like Siberia for some reason. It won a ton of awards. But all the awards it won were like artwork awards and stuff like that. What's the name of Dante's roommate? Definitely Paimon. Everyone, not everyone, a lot of people I know are playing that game for the first time. right now, all at the same time. I'm guessing the second one's coming out really soon. Like really, really, really soon. That was yesterday. Maybe everybody's playing the second one. That is really soon. Anyway, speaking of yesterday,